Goeiedag en baie welkom by my Junita Reineke en Rissenburg Herald se weeklikse nuusbulletin. Saam met my is Waldie Volkskenk van ons nuuskantoor. Maar nou ja, die stof rondom Paasnaweek het gaan lê en Rissenburgers en leerders is terug in die tuig. Sjoe, maar 'n vol week na die opwinding van Paasnaweek, né?
Yes, Junita. It's been a rather uneventful Easter weekend as far as we know. Perhaps one of the biggest highlights is the arrest of the 23-year-old notorious spike robber on the N4, a 23-year-old Mozambican national. He was documented with no documentation in his possession. The culprit was arrested last Wednesday, 12 April. His arrest was a blessing, we must add. Otherwise, we could have seen more robberies and perhaps the lives saved of some motorists on the N4.
Waldie, ek sien die Paasfeesveldtog deur 'n wetstoepassingsagentskappe was Dinsdag nog steeds aktief op verskeie hoofroetes binne en buite Rissenburg.
Yes, Junita, like we just said, a rather uneventful weekend. We trust that most, if not all, Rustenburg people are safely back at home. And as far as we know at this stage, it has not been too much of a gruesome long weekend on our roads. Statistics regarding incidents and accidents will be available in a week or two.
Waldie, ek sien die prokureursorde van Suid-Afrika het die skietdood van 'n Rissenburgse vroulike prokureur voor verlede week ten sterkste veroordeel. Ons hoop dat die skuldiges agter hierdie moord spoedig agter tralies sal wees. Waldie, so na die lang naweek, is daar enige verwikkelinge waarvan Rissenburgers moet weet?
Junita, Rustenburg is platinum. Platinum is mining. What concerns mining news is that the proposed transaction between Northern Platinum to acquire Royal Bafokeng Platinum is off. It will no longer continue. Then another case that you might be interested in, the long-awaited and much talked about Lapa murder case. The pre-trial of this case was heard on Tuesday this week, Tuesday, the 11th of April, and the case was scheduled for trial from 27 to 29 June. Keep watching Rissenburg Herald as the story develops further.
Ons het reeds berig oor twee belangrike oorwinnings vir Outa in 'n deurslaggewende hofsaak. Waldie, vertel vir ons kortliks die agtergrond.
Both these cases is about Alta's protests against wrongdoings, mainly against tax abuse by the South African government and its agencies. In the first case was the national case of state of disaster, which was announced a month or 2 or 3 ago. Alta maintained that government can't call a state of emergency for an issue that is its own doing and its own faults and its own mistakes. So the case was found in the side of Outa with cost, we must say. So the state of disaster was suspended and was rescinded. Secondly, the Minister of Finance, Enoch Ndongwana, was forced to withdraw his approval, his kind approval, we must say, of Eskom's fruitless expenses in the Auditor General's report. Outa argued that this couldn't be omitted, and this is important material and administration, so this the court also found in favor of Outa.
Waldie, die media is behoorlik aan die brand oor die arrestasie van die gesoekte Facebook-verkragter Thabo Bester en sy vriendin. Wat het hier gebeur?
Junita, Thabo Bester is a convicted murderer and rapist who escaped from the Mangwang Correctional Facility earlier last year after being assisted by presumably his future father-in-law, a former employee of G-Force, as well as other individuals of correctional services. The couple were arrested in Tanzania on Friday evening as they tried to flee the country. The authorities are hard at work in trying to have the couple extradited to South Africa to stand trial on various charges. Incidentally, sadly, we must say, on Friday earlier the day, South Africans have heard that the South African authorities' application for the extradition of the Gupta brothers from the UAE has been refused and has been dismissed without any foreseeable chance that the application will be heard again, if ever. This is a huge blow to South African taxpayers, and as a matter of fact, it is quite embarrassing, the conduct by South African authorities who couldn't manage to pull this through. Okay, Unita?
Nou ja, tyd vir my om te groet. Rissenburg het seker die naweek opgemerk dat die seisoen nou vinnig besig is om te draai en dat die winter op pad is. Onthou, mense maak vroegtydig die nodige reëlings vir eele griepinspuitings as jy deur hierdie jaar se winter nie griep of kwaai verkoue wil opdoen nie. Daarmee dan mooi bly tot volgende keer dieselfde tyd, dieselfde plek.
Readers, viewers, from me also then, keep well, keep safe, and remember to prepare for winter. Have your flu injections and your vaccinations, and you will be okay during this winter, which is suspected to be a cold one. Until next time then, goodbye.